us women, our brains are incredibly active. I mean, we got tons of responsibilities. We have lots of worries and concerns. Not that we should, not that's something we should be aiming for. But it's true. We're always looking for areas of improvement in our lives, and we're trying to do good things. There's nothing wrong with that. But not being able to manage those thoughts that come in and out on a consistent, constant basis can be really challenging, very taxing, which is why yoga and meditation and mindfulness training are so important these days and so prevalent, because we're kind of all a little bit overstrung and a little stressed out. And it doesn't help us when we want to stay present in the bedroom with our spouses. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 5 simple secrets to staying present with your husband in the bedroom. Don't feel overwhelmed by the number 5. And I'm not trying to add to your to-do list here. What I'm trying to say is that it can be simple and you can do it. And most importantly, you're not alone. If you are also trying to get nice and cozy and intimate with your husband, and your to-do lists are running through your head, or a bunch of other things I'm going to talk about. Before I get into that and how you can remedy them, how I've remedied that in my life, because I am a overthinker, overanalyzer, overworrier, I want to introduce myself. My name is Janna Denton-Howes. I am a marriage coach and creator of the Wanting It More program. Yes, it is what you think it is. I just can't say it right now. But alas, we are grown adults. Maybe I should come up with a little code word for all these videos. Facebook would like it better. I digress. Let's get into the 5 simple secrets, shall we? Each simple secret, how many times can I say that, correlates to a pattern of thought that you might be having. So let me review those patterns of thought. I just made that word up on the spot here. Aren't I amazing? Here's what might be on your mind. Number 1, I've already mentioned this before, your to-do list. It's running, it's very long, there's birthday parties to plan, there's shopping lists, there's things we gotta do. I can't think of anything right now. It's not incredible. Packing, that's what I gotta do right after this video. Our personal to-do lists. Then we have issues that we want to talk to our husband about. Maybe it's finances, maybe it's issues with the in-laws, maybe it's housework dynamics, maybe it's the fact that you want him to get a new job. So many things that you might want to talk to him about. Then there are just those fears, worries, and concerns. Maybe your child is sick. Maybe you have an upcoming vacation, you don't feel prepared. Maybe you just bought a new car and you think you made the wrong decision, right? We just have worries and concerns all the time. The 4th thing is thinking about your husband's experience in the bedroom. Is he having a good time? Is he bored? Is this intense enough? Is he enjoying himself? Do I sound weird? Do I look weird? All those fun little thoughts we can have. And lastly, having fantasies just to try to get aroused, because if you are struggling in that department, they can be really helpful, but they can take you away from the experience and take you away from being present. So I'm going to talk about those 5 categories and what you can do about them, and give you some simple strategies. And I've used all of these strategies myself. So this is not just theory I'm talking about. Number 1, your personal to-do items that are taking up all that storage in your brain and not allowing you to be present in the moment, that wonderful connection that is available to you. Just write that stuff down. Just get out a pen and paper and pad, or whatever I wanted to say there, and write down the things that are in your brain. I have never done this. Full disclosure, never done this, but I have done it mentally. Write all the things down I'm thinking about, and then tell myself, Janna, you have set aside this time. This is sacred, this is special, this is self-care, this is marriage care, this is all sorts of delicious, wonderful oxytocin and endorphins and dopamine and all this stuff that I can really enjoy in my life and really get benefit out of. It'll make me more productive. Just set those things aside for a moment, okay? So If you need to write them down, do it. If that's your jam, go ahead. But another strategy is just say, I've chosen to be here. This is what we're going to do right now. And when I'm done, I can go back to those items. Number 2, issues that you want to talk to your husband about. So there's a couple of strategies here depending on your personality. If you're a planner, if you like things on the calendar, a schedule, plan another time that those things can be talked about. I have one client and they schedule a weekly marriage meeting. I think that's fantastic. I'm not really at the stage that I need that or want that. I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of gal when it comes to scheduling and stuff, which is interesting because I recommend scheduling sex. Fantastic. Oh, I just said the S word. Facebook. So what you can do is just bring it up really quickly. If your relationship is at that stage where you can just bring things up really quickly. For example, what I'll do is I'll be like, oh, we need to check in with our budget. My husband will be like, okay, sure. And then we'll just move on with it. So the issues that I need to talk to my husband about, we're at the stage right now in our relationship that I can just bring them up. He can say, okay, sure. And we'll just move on with it. Will we actually get to the budget, or will we actually get to all those things that I think I want to talk to him about? Maybe not. Maybe we will, maybe not. But for me, just that little reassurance of him saying, okay, sure, really helps. But you might want to say, before you get into experience, if that's what's clouding up your brain, hey, I really need to talk about this thing. When can we do that? Can we put it on the calendar, get out your phone, actually put it in there, so you can just put your mind at rest. Fears, worries, concerns. I mean, we're all like a diverse human race here, and so we're all going to have different feelings. We're all going to have different sensitivities around fears and concerns or worries. Mine is pretty high, and so I deal with this a lot. And what I've done is I use the experience with my husband as a strategy to be more mindful. We have a lot of physical senses that we can use in order to come out of here and into our bodies when we're in the bedroom with our husbands. So, I mean, you've got smell. Smell is armpits. Those pheromones are really good for you. We have touch, and not just sexual touch, but like even just warmth or pressure can be really grounding and nice. We have taste. If you're orally centered, the taste can be nice, or maybe you put in some chocolate in your mouth or something. I don't get freaky like that. And if you are, what was I going to say? So we're looking through the 5 senses. I got distracted there. So we're looking at taste, touch, smell, sight. You can open your eyes and look at your beloved. I'm missing one. I didn't write that down, but that's fine. You get it. Physical senses can help you get out of your worries and concerns and into your body. Use it as a practice like you would yoga or meditation or a walk in nature. Use it. I think a lot of people think, oh, intimate relations are just about connection, but for women in particular, they're a lot about self-care. So use it for that. For thinking about your husband's experience, is he bored? Does he think this is weird? Is this not intense enough? Ladies, you got to get out of your husband's head. Because if you're in his experience, you're way out of connected with your body, and it's just not going to work. Really be very concerned with your own experience. Some may think this is selfish, but it's not, because your husband in the long run will have a much better time if you're fully in your pleasure. So I know this is probably the hardest tip that I'm going to give you, and it might take a very long time to be able to accomplish this, but it's a good start. Lastly, it's really good to ask for reassurance if your marriage is at that point. So I don't know where you are when in your relationship. You might be at the stage where, sparks can get heated really quick. Or maybe you're at the stage where you can get away with a lot. A lot of your corners are rounded. There's not a lot of sharp edges. I'm kind of at that stage in my relationship, not because I was just blessed with it, but because I worked really hard to get here. So I'll ask my husband reassurance. Are you having a good time? Are you having fun? Is this weird? And he's a wonderful responder to my questions. And so he'll just say like, oh, your pleasure is my only concern, and wonderful things like that. So really, depending on where you're at in your relationship, those are two strategies. And lastly, using fantasies to get aroused is such a big strategy for women who I serve, who struggle to want it in the first place. And fantasies can just be one strategy. I don't really have like a moral, it's do you, whatever works. But if you're trying to stay present with your husband in the bedroom, that's probably not the best strategy, because you're kind of disconnecting from the experience and having something else in your mind go on. So some soft eye contact can really help, not like staring at each other in the face, but just some soft gazes. Lower your eyelids a little bit, just kind of look at him. He can look at you. You can kind of close and open your eyes. I find eyes open helps me stay way more present in what's happening in the moment. And then being able to use my brain for other things like he cares for me, he loves me, he supports me, all of those wonderful things that make you feel really good. We're on the same team. I appreciate this about him, all of that. Another thing you can use is use your husband's single focus. So women have diffuse awareness, which is why we're always thinking about all the things, and which is why also our husbands don't tend to do that. I mean, this is a gender generalization, but our husbands tend to be able to just focus on one thing at a time. Wouldn't that be amazing? So I sometimes will say, help, to my husband, help, my mind is wandering. I'm going off in la la land. I'm off to fantasy and I don't want to be. And I talk to him, and he talks to me, and he gets me back into the present moment, which is really helpful. So I've covered a lot here, and I just want you to take one of these tips that I've shared with you, just one, because if you start to use soft eye contact, or if you see this as a self-care practice, or you get really in touch with your physical senses, or if you write things down beforehand, or you make sure that you have another time to talk about those issues and concerns and all of that. Just one of those, imagine, would help you so much to stay present with your husband in the bedroom. And when you are present, because you might be like, why, Janna? Why would I want to stay present? When you are present, your experience is so much more satisfying and fulfilling. You get more benefits out of it, that connection, that teamwork, again, all of those hormones I talked that you get from it, all that oxytocin, which is so good and so important for women. And so you get more benefit out of it. And when you get more benefit out of it, you look forward to it more. I want you to be able to create an experience that you're going to look forward to. And just like any other practice in your life that helps you slow down and connect to who you are, connect to another human being, could you have anything better? So just pick one and keep it simple. And if you feel brave enough, you can like this video and share it with your friends. You can always just copy the link and email it to them if you don't want the whole wide world to know that you just watched this video. But I think we should all just become courageous. We're all married. We're all doing it. May as well talk about it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.